house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes, the house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this speech a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan, and with me in the studio, Nick Von Brick.
Yo.
Back in the control booth, we've got Bam.
Yo.
Episode 242. Hit the like and subscribe button if you don't mind. This is college football week 13, NFL week 12, and this is a big one. This is a very important episode for us. I would argue that this is the most important episode in regards to NFL picks that we've had since we've started the show. We're in contention in this contest, and we'll get into that here in a second, but this is a big one. Again, hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. We are very close to 1,000 subscribers. I think we're 9 away. Might have been 8, and then somebody said, I changed my mind, and they unsubscribed. So you can help us get to 1,000. It was, like I said, it was one of the goals this season. We are almost there. Bam, how does it feel to be back in Louisiana?
Feels good. A lot warmer.
Yeah. What was the temperature there?
Whenever I landed, it was snowing. I stepped out the Uber. I was in like a SUV type Uber that has like the little foot railings.
You trying to flex that you were in like a Uber X or whatever?
No, just a normal Uber. It happened to be a nice SUV. But I stepped out and the foot railing thing was slicked over.
Did you fall?
No, I didn't. I caught myself, but damn near.
You said, oh, my God. Yeah.
I said, sorry, I'm from Louisiana. We don't really get this often.
Then you went in the whole spiel. But, well, actually, I lived in St. Louis for a while, so I'm kind of familiar with it. Did you do anything other than seminars? Anything exciting?
I went to a Cavaliers game. That was pretty cool.
Yeah?
They ended up losing.
Must have been nice to, well, we're used to that down here. But must have been nice to see a competitive NBA game. We went to an NBA game as well. We'll get to in a second. But, did you eat any good food? Did you do anything? Any sightseeing? Anything?
Not really.
Okay.
Pretty confined.
What was the best thing you ate while you were there?
Spicy rigatoni with meatballs.
You're a big Italian guy. I was thinking about that. It would be nice after like a good betting week, which I know it doesn't seem like there's been many with college football, but NFL, this is my most profitable NFL season that I've ever had in my entire life. And among not just the podcast, among other reasons, and there's a couple weeks where I'm like, it'd be nice to go get a fucking nice sit-down Italian meal right now. Either maybe Nuvolari's, maybe what's the one out there by Madisonville on the left? Impastato Cellars. Maybe we put that in the chamber and we try to follow through with that one of these days. It'd be nice. I could go for some spicy rigatoni. Yeah, we went to the Pelicans game. What was that, Friday? That was the weirdest environment that I've ever been in a Pelicans game in terms of it was just dead. It was dead. The PA guy was doing the defense, and I mean, not one person said it. He played it for what felt like 5 minutes straight, to the point that I was like, anybody, please say it, like, so he can stop playing. Nobody would say defense. It's the Lakers. It's the Los Angeles Lakers on a Friday night, and it was a third full, the arena. I don't know that I've ever seen it like that, and we've been bad for a long, long time. I remember I went and saw – we were in the midst of being terrible like always, but I went and saw the Heat when LeBron and D-Wade and all of that were at their height. The place was packed. There wasn't an empty seat in the house. So you've got Luka and the Lakers come in, and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, it's bad. The state of the Pelicans is it's bad. It's hard for people to get invested in the team. It's been bad for a long time.
Yeah, I don't know what the solution is really, but the problem is Gail Benson inherited these franchises from her husband. Rest in peace to Tom Benson. Tom Benson's rolling over in his fucking grave right now. She inherited becoming the most powerful woman in all of sports and has left everybody there that's been there since she married her way into her position. Mickey Loomis was there for a long, long time, and he's in charge of both franchises, and both franchises are in the gutter right now. So it's the most secure job in America is to be Mickey Loomis, the general manager of two of the worst franchises in sports. So I don't know what the solution is. I don't know where we go. As far as the Pelicans, we're going to be bad for forever. Derek Queen shows promise, and he's could potentially turn into a good player, but you traded a first-round pick for him. This is one of the most loaded drafts coming up. At one point, I think we would have had the first and second overall pick because we got rid of our pick, and then we had a pick from the Pacers that we gave away. I don't remember all the specifics of how that happened, but it was like, oh, we might pick first and second in one of the more loaded drafts in recent history. So, and we got rid of both of them, and that's why we'll continue to be bad. But yeah, we were in the suite, and the best thing that they do in that arena is make chicken wings, clearly, because those chicken wings were fantastic.
Yeah.
I got chicken wings. I graduated to chocolate chip cookies and a brownie, and I went back for chicken wings after. I was like, I'm going to get a few more. I went and looked, and I was like, clearly they're not refilling the fucking chicken wings. So I guess obviously money's a little tight. They're clearly not making enough money. They're not turning a profit. So they turn the lights on in that place, and they put a couple chicken wings in the suite, and they're like, that's all you get. We're not putting any more in there. So I could tell. There was no more coming, so I tried to get it while I could. But those were, dare I say, top 5 chicken wings I've ever had. Those were good chicken wings.
Yeah, they were. They were really good.
Like, can you name 5 better? I would pick those before I pick Sticks. Sticks is a little different. It's smoked, and I don't know. And I also got Sticks barbecue when I drank all that coffee March Madness, so I kind of got a bad taste.
Sticks has gone a little down.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, they were cooked. The ones in the Smoothie King Center, man, they were cooked damn near perfectly.
Yeah, odds are the person making the chicken wings in the Smoothie King Center will never hear this, but hats off to you. Because somebody in there, we know there's at least one person in that building doing their job. So thank you for that. All right, couple college football news, breaking news issues to dive into, and then we'll do a update on where we're at with our contest. Like I said, we are firmly in the mix, and then we'll dive into college football. This is my lightest college football card probably since we've started this show, and it's because, to be honest with you, all I can think about right now is the NFL. Like, I looked at college, I was like, I think I have 4 plays. So I can't get my mind off the NFL slate. So Lane Kiffin and his family allegedly toured Baton Rouge, which set the state of Mississippi on fire, including the politicians and everybody. They're like, why can't he just say he's not leaving? And it's like, because he's fucking leaving. What more do you need to know? And then he did a interview with Pat McAfee today, clearly pre-recorded. And that tells you all you need to know right there, in my opinion. He was not going to get caught with a gotcha question, and they were never going to ask him a gotcha question anyway. But he said that there is no ultimatum, because that was the rumor circulating, that Ole Miss told Lane Kiffin basically, you got to make a decision this weekend on if you're staying with us or not. He came out and said that's false. There is no ultimatum. But what he also didn't say is that he's not leaving, which leads me to believe he's probably leaving. Is he coming to LSU? I don't know. And who knows? Maybe they come over the top and give him a huge bag and he changes his mind. But it is crazy to go tour Baton Rouge mid-season when you're like in the midst of making the college football playoff. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. So he went as well?
That's what I heard.
Okay.
Originally, I thought it was the family, but then apparently he was there as well. And I can understand the frustration from everybody in Mississippi, because it's like, you're still employed with us. He knows what I feel like I know, and they're not going to win anything significant this year, so he's getting his ducks in a row. But if you're a fan of the team, you're like, what are you doing? It's the bye week. They should be prepping for the Egg Bowl right now. But he's going to, like, oh, the houses do look pretty nice over here. Do you think he leaves?
I think for him not to, Ole Miss is going to have to exceed the offer from either LSU or Florida.
Yeah, I don't think there's an allegiance there that, like, he'll take a less. I think it's the highest bidder. But it is odd to me. Like I've always said, and I went back and looked through the tweets, I have despised Lane Kiffin, and I've said on a number of occasions, I think he's a fucking idiot. This whole circus kind of encapsulates what I've said about him, though, whereas just like he's like an unserious coach. And so he's making jokes and he's making little, like, he's saying things that are like, oh, does that mean this or does that mean that? Like, he knows what he's doing and he's playing the game, but it's like at some point you got to kind of buckle down and get serious, and it just feels like he never does. Like, he'll go on Twitter and he'll do that. Like, he's always trolling, and so I don't know. But like the McAfee interview was odd. I thought it was kind of pointless, and it definitely didn't, like, in my opinion, there's no way. Like, I saw the LSU people were like, oh shit, he's gonna come out and say I'm not leaving Ole Miss, and the Ole Miss people were like, oh, thank God he's not leaving. He came out and said there's no ultimatum. And he's like, nice talking to you, Pat. Like, they didn't say anything significant. There's no questions were answered. Everybody's walked away from that still going, like, is he coming and is he going? So I didn't really understand the point of it. But just for the sake of I don't like Ole Miss, like I said, I've been a notorious Lane Kiffin hater. I'll change my mind, and I will dance on their fucking graves because they thought shit was sweet whenever they beat us earlier this season. That would be – yeah, it's like I tweeted out. I said if LSU wants Lane Kiffin to come to LSU, that's where he'll be coaching next year. And I think I still stand by that. I think that is correct. And it's funny to watch the people that were feeling confident all of a sudden not so confident anymore. And now they're getting a little squeamish, like, oh, shit. Because if I saw somebody, they posted from the message board where they were like, this is my big board, or this is my, like, the coaches he wants to go after if Kiffin leaves. And Saban was on it. Dan Lanning. It's like, buddy, you're not. You're not going to get. Saban had to Kiffin had to recreate himself. Remember, he went to FAU and he had to work down and then work his way back up. Ole Miss is on that way back up. There's an upper echelon, another team, which is where he'll ultimately end up probably after this season, or maybe even after the Egg Bowl. But I thought that was interesting. So, that's why college football is the best, though, because you get shit like that mid-season where a coach that's in contention is doing recruiting trips to a competing school in the same conference. Another coach hire, I guess, and not this one's not a rumor. This one is official. Is James Franklin going to Virginia Tech? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a win for Virginia Tech.
I think that's an incredible hire for Virginia Tech. I think that's the perfect spot for James Franklin. You get to get out of the Big Ten. You get out from underneath. I really do. And James Franklin is who he is, and or at least that's who he was at Penn State. And I'm not saying he's going to go win a national championship at Virginia Tech. But Virginia Tech, one, I want to see Enter Sandman become meaningful again. They have the best intro to a college football game where the team comes running out to Metallica and the whole stadium's going crazy. The problem is they fucking stink and have stunk for a long time, so it hasn't mattered. No one cares. How are you going to get hyped to Enter Sandman when you know you're about to get the shit kicked out of you? At Penn State, James Franklin was a perennial 10-win guy, but then you lose to Ohio State, you lose to now Oregon. Like, you lose to the big names. You lose when it matters most, but you're consistent, and you can build the program, and you can turn the team into a winning team, just not a championship team. The ACC is wide open, especially with Clemson and Dabo, and that. Who knows what's going to happen there? You got Cristobal with Miami, who's good for half the season and then bad for the second half. Virginia Tech, overnight, is going to probably turn into one of the better teams in the ACC. And I was high on Kyron Drones. I think we both were a little bit, but I thought they were going to be good. They had Jalen Lane, who's in the NFL, Bashal Tutin, who's running with Jacksonville, very productive. That team should have been much better than they were. Brent Pry, I thought he was an okay coach. Clearly not. And he's now fired. So I think James Franklin is a home run hire for Virginia Tech that at the very least you're going to take a team that had no hope and you're going to sell a shitload of tickets and you're going to have a ton of excitement now. And you're going to get like that first Enter Sandman, that running out of the tunnel with James Franklin as the head coach is going to be sick. And I think it's good for college football because Penn State's a brand that's always going to be there, whoever they go and get. And now it's like, who are they going to go get? Who's on their list? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of like what we said, or what you said, I guess, where it's like, yeah, you fire him, who do you go get? when in regards to LSU, it's like whoever the fuck we want is how I always felt. Like I feel like, but Penn State's a step below. Like ever since Joe Paul and then really the Sandusky incident, it's like it really hasn't been the same, I guess. So I don't know who they go get. I really don't. But I think that's the perfect spot for Franklin. A little step down, but still power conference in a team that you have not really any expectations. You make a bowl game, they're going to be happy. And he'll get them there for sure. I thought that was interesting. I think that's a great hire for Virginia Tech. Last thing, Shedeur Sanders got his first action in the NFL. How would you grade his performance?
I mean, I didn't see every throw, but everything I did see was struggling, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it looked terrible.
I mean, I didn't see him do much good.
Well, he got in, and everybody was like, holy shit. And then, like, first drive pick. And they're like, oh, shit. And then Josina Anderson. The whole, I don't know if it was COVID. I don't know what it was. And this is a little bit of a tangent, I guess. We've seen so many former ESPN employees absolutely lose their fucking mind. Number one being Keith Olbermann. I remember Keith Olbermann doing kind of like, was it E60 or there was a show that he did that was I enjoyed, and he would do like sports stories and all of that. And Keith Olbermann was back with was it Stuart Scott or whoever? He had been, maybe not Stuart Scott, but he's been with ESPN for a long time. He's no longer with them, but he was one of the like pioneers. Keith Olbermann's gone down the political rabbit hole and has absolutely lost his fucking mind. Stephen A. Smith's going down the political rabbit hole. We're seeing all of these people just lose their minds. And Josina Anderson is another one where she was with ESPN for quite a while. She has now just gone on this rampage of defending Shedeur and calling out the conspiracy theories around Shedeur and them setting him up to fail. She had a tweet that went ultra viral because she posted a video of Shedeur and she said, here's the against all odds 3rd and 10 completion from Shedeur Sanders. The against all odds. He threw the ball 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. Jerry Jeudy on a crossing route, caught the ball, made 3 people miss, broke a tackle, and got the first down. I could have made that throw. I might have fucking underthrew it or maybe threw it a little behind him. But you give me 3 tries at it, I'm putting 1 on the numbers for sure. The against all odds 3rd and 10 completion. It was a fucking 2-yard pass. It's the craziest thing. And then they're saying with a straight face that Kevin Stefanski is calling plays for him to fail. He's calling bad plays for Shedeur and good plays for Dylan Gabriel. I don't get it. I don't get how we allow these people to say this with a straight face.
Oh, yeah, there's bunches of them, though.
No, so I tweeted out. I was like, the fact that conspiracy theories have entered into football is the craziest thing to me. The craziest thing. And under no, sir, if you think, to the person on the other side of this listening, whoever it may be, if you think Kevin Stefanski is intentionally calling plays to sabotage Shedeur Sanders, you need to go get your head examined. Seriously, because it's the craziest thing in the world. No coach is going to do that. None whatsoever. Even when you had Brian Daboll out there calling plays for Russell Wilson. He hated Russell Wilson. He's not calling plays for him. It's just the craziest thing. And it's turned into this just kind of like tiring, like narrative, I guess. And to be quite honest, everybody that thinks they're like defending Shedeur are just making it so much more difficult for him to have success, because that's why the media keeps running with it, because you've got crazy people eating it up. If everybody would just shut the fuck up about it and let him try to figure it out, he'd have a higher likelihood of having success. But it doesn't look good. And his pocket presence is bad. His timing's bad. Everything looks fucking bad. And then people were up in arms because Stefanski said that was his first time running with the ones. But then you've got Luke McCown and Chase Daniel and all these career backups coming out and saying that's what happens. That's normal. That you don't get to fucking get reps with the ones. And then you've got Shannon Sharp coming out like, I never didn't get reps with the ones. It's like, you were a tight end. You weren't the fucking quarterback.
You were good.
Yeah, you're also in the Hall of Fame. This guy got drafted fucking, and I don't know. It's just not. Yeah, it's not. They think everything's apples to apples. It's not. It's not the same thing. But I'll tell you what. I'm very interested to see how this week goes with Shedeur. That expected to probably get the start. So maybe we can put this to bed, or maybe he fucking lights it up and starts flashing his watch that he's had since he was 12. So the kid's had a fucking Audemars Piguet on his wrist since he was in grade school. So I think he'll be okay. All right, last thing then, we'll recap college football. Would you agree that this is the most important week of NFL picks that we've ever had?
Yeah.
It's pretty stressful. And it's like, this isn't the biggest one. We got to get to next week. But there's a hypothetical, and not even. If we go 10-0 over the next 2 weeks, we're going to win. It's that simple. I went back and looked at every single year of every quarterly winner. If you go, like realistically, we could go 4-1, 5-0, and we'll still probably win. Historically. So it's as simple as that. Go 10 in a row, and I want that moment. And it's not even so much for the money. I just want that moment. I want that like, and it is for the money, don't get me wrong. But, and I feel like I'm probably getting ahead of myself, but it's too late. But I feel like I said it when we went there. I was like, I've manifested. So it's like, if it were to happen, if there were ever a time for me to go where it wouldn't be, like, it would have to be in that moment. That would be the optimal moment. The second that last game fucking hits, that's all I would need. I want to be in that moment. I want to experience that. And then the money obviously would be great too. So, but I don't know. That's my problem. I get ahead of myself. But
It's pretty good money, I mean.
yeah, it's $250,000. Yeah, so anyway, I got off on a tangent there, fucking daydreaming about if we won this thing. We've said a million times, we entered into the Circa Millions contest. We all flew out to Vegas for it. 1 entry. It's our first time ever doing it. 5 NFL picks against the spread each week. We are overall, I think we are 32-23. And that's with some misfortune. I mean, look, everybody's going to probably be able to say that. Not everybody's going to be able to say they were on the Rams when the fucking Eagles blocked a game-winning field goal and returned it for a meaningless touchdown. So watch us miss out on the money by 1 game. That'll be a tough pill to swallow. But anyway, we've been on a tear as of late. There's 1 overall winner, or there's first place, and then there's also quarterly winners as well. So we're in the third quarter. We're 2 weeks into the third quarter. We've gone 4-1 each week. If you really want to break it down, we could be looking at a 5-0 potentially if Jordan Love doesn't fucking fumble the ball right before halftime, and then they didn't try to kick an 80-yard field goal with McManus. And then last week we had the Chiefs -3.5, and there was an extra point blocked when the Chiefs score that would have put them up 4. Instead, they were up 3, and we had them 3.5. So that was the difference in that game. I guess beggars can't be choosers, but it's pretty much a razor-thin margin where every fucking game really, really matters. So either way, we're 8-2, very much in the mix in the third quarter. So we got to handle business. 5 more picks against the spread for the contest. And we got to see what we can do. That would be nice to have to make a trip back out to Vegas before football season's even over. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, I suppose. Do you feel good about this week?
It's tough, but I guess I have more leans than I'll probably give out plays here, you know?
Yeah, and we'll talk about all of that.
A lot of the lines are sitting, juiced at 2.5 or 3.5. Gonna see, I guess, where they settle in.
Well, then you've got multiple double-digit spreads. You've got multiple quarterback injuries. This is the toughest week in my opinion by far. You've got you got the Ravens double digits. You got the Lions double digits. You got somebody else that I'm blanking on. You got the Packers with Jordan Love getting banged up and Josh Jacobs hurt, and you got the Falcons with Penix out and Drake London out. You got a lot of injuries. Rodgers with a fractured wrist. It's a lot of shit going on that you got to decipher you got to decipher through and fucking find the pieces to the puzzle. So we're going to try to do it. But before we get to that, we will recap college football. Another week, another day at the office for me. I go 2-3. I will say we did hit the lock, third week in a row. We've hit our lock of the week in college football, and it was the easiest winner that we had all week. Indiana minus 29.5. This was one where, look, I don't even know what Wisconsin's team total was. Maybe would have been better to just go ahead and take. I never even look in that direction, really. Wisconsin struggled to really do much of anything. They had 160 yards of offense. They were 2 of 11 on third down. Indiana turned it on in the second half, but it was 10-7 at halftime. Indiana won 31-7. We needed one more touchdown out of them. Couldn't get it. We had Texas plus 6.5. Big time swing and a miss here. My God, I just cannot. I don't know what it is. This regard that I hold Steve Sarkisian, this high regard I hold him to. This guy fucking stinks. And it's every big game, it's the same thing. And they're like, he's an offensive mastermind. And then you've got to watch his team come out and have 270 fucking 4 yards of offense, 2 of 12 on third down, 23 goddamn rushing yards. Arch Manning, Jesus Christ, 27 of 43. You're trying to get Manning to fucking throw it 43 times on the road against Georgia. Sarkisian's a dickhead, and I'm so tired of it. They lose 35-10.
It was
It wasn't as bad as the final score.
Yeah, because we were in it was the fourth quarter when Texas scored.
No, Texas did not score in the fourth quarter. They scored in the third, which made it
Near the end of the
14-10.
third?
Yeah, but
It
then
was that drive after that because they had Georgia on 4th and 1, backed up in opponent territory. Georgia went for it, got it, and then they had them on another 4th down. They got it, ended up scoring a touchdown on that drive. Surprise onside kick, bam, that game was over like that.
That was an incredible decision by Kirby Smart. And I just fucking can't stand. It's like that's what I'm saying. Sarkisian's in this regard as one of the top coaches, and over there with his fucking mouth hanging open, like, oh shit, like, yeah, you just lost, dickhead, because you had no idea that was fucking coming for some reason. But he said in the post game, it's like they're gonna try to do something. They're gonna try to get. Yeah, they got you. They did what you said they were gonna do, and you weren't ready for it. 21-point unanswered fourth quarter for Georgia, and that buried Texas. Cincinnati minus 6.5. This one started out good for Cincinnati and then quickly went to shit, and I'm not really so sure what the hell happened. Sorsby played terrible, I know that. But then Cincinnati's defense, my God, gave up 475 yards of offense. I wasn't expecting it to be that one-sided. We had the Oklahoma and Alabama under 45.5. This one was fun because there was 31 points scored in the first half and then 13 points scored in the second half. It was one of those, I think Simpson threw a pick six, and then he turned right back around and threw an interception in the end zone that was going to help us. And they overturned it with a horrible fucking penalty. I don't know if you were watching. It was a terrible PI call. And then Alabama scored on the very next play. So we had 14 points. It was the under was the right side, in my opinion. It was just unfortunate turnover situation. I think there was a muffed punt, and there was a couple other things that a couple fumbles. The turnovers were just throwing points up on the board in bunches, and you saw that turnovers got cleaned up. Points stopped going up on the board in the second half. So we needed that one in a big way. And then, like I said, Notre Dame minus 11.5 was the lock of the week. They beat the brakes off of Pitt. Pitt scored in the fourth quarter for their second touchdown. Or no, they didn't even have a touchdown until the fourth quarter, I don't think. Let me see. Yeah, very, very end, very last drive. They scored with no time left on the clock. So they had 9 points. It was 37-9 and before that. So this Notre Dame team's the real deal. We've been saying it. They had 175 yards rush and 5 yards of carry. There's just way too much balance with that offense. So that's a decent Pitt team, and they made them look not very good. 2-3 on the week, 38, 53, and 4, 5 and 7 of my locks of the week. It's been a very, very, very bad college football season. I would advise you. I'll never tell anybody to fade me. I've always said the second you fade, that's when I'll fucking bury you. But just don't listen to me. Just let me talk. Let me talk into the void. You had 4 plays. Very on-brand week for you as well.
Yeah.
2 and 2.
Yeah, Troy Old Dominion under was a lock. For the most part, it went how I thought. Old Dominion had a little bit more success offensively here. They won 33-0, but Troy, it's kind of breaking down the game, what we thought was going to happen. They had a hard time passing the ball because of the Old Dominion pass rush here. So Troy had a hard time moving the ball, though their defense did step up a couple times down there at the red zone to hold Old Dominion. Troy goes 0 points. The total is probably going to hit there. So Ball State plus 2.5, kind of a bad bet here. They lost 24-9. Ball State turned Eastern Michigan over a couple times, got a couple interceptions, but just wasn't able to do enough offensively here. And then Maryland plus 15. I think Maryland lost by 18 here. They had the ball down 18 points with 4.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and for some reason they decided it's a good idea to punt on 4th and 5. Like, I don't really understand what was going through.
Yeah, the alternate spread.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen a team do that with that much time left. I get it, you're down 3 possessions, but still. Utah Baylor over 60.5. This game got off to a little bit of a slow start in the first quarter. But then after that, the floodgates opened.
80 points in the second quarter, and yeah, I was watching this one on the side screen, and I was. It's the same thing. It's the Squidward meme. I'm just watching. I'm like, I wish I would have took that as their fucking. I looked back and like Utah scored. I think they had 28 points in the first half. Yeah,
they just explosive after explosive.
Yeah, and that's the Baylor defense. That's the Dave Aranda difference. So, 2 and 2. You're 29, 29 and 2, but 8 and 4 in your locks of the week. And look, with the season I'm having, I would love 29, 29 and 2. And then if you're going to go 66% in your best bets. So, Bam, give me an update on your record, even though you were not here last week. Just overall record.
13 and 14, 5 and 5 in locks of the week.
Okay. All righty, we turn our attention to week 13 of college football, and we've got same thing, football every single day. We got games currently in play as we speak. Do you have anything Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
I don't think so.
Okay. I don't. Do you, Bam?
Nope.
Okay. So we go to Saturday then. Do you want to lead it off?
Yeah.
Well. Not you, pal. Your name's not on a fucking headline. Go ahead, Bam. Lead us off. Yeah, He's obviously feeling good.
We're going to LSU, Western Kentucky, taking the over 49.5.
Okay. I'm actually on this as well. It's crazy. I only have 4 plays this week. That is one of them. There's 49.5.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. 1 second.
So let's get an updated number just so we are all on the same page here. Are you on this game?
No.
Not with Nussmeier out. You said fuck.
Yeah, you can get 49.5.
Okay. All righty. Yeah, so Western Kentucky, LSU, we are going to go over 49.5. You got Van Buren at quarterback. They're going to pretend that Nussmeier got hurt again, and then reports coming out that he didn't get hurt. That's a quiet benching. Whether it's deserved or not, the answer is no. It's not deserved. But we gotta go with what we've got, and that's Van Buren against a bad Western Kentucky defense that, believe it or not, grades out okay. They play in Conference USA. They've played 0 competition. You're going to have an LSU team that's had a very disappointing year that still has a lot of weapons on the outside. I think LSU is going to be able to put points up on the board here. How much of an effort are we going to get from the defense is my biggest question, because the defense is obviously damn good. You've got a ton of talent on that side of the ball. How much are they going to give a shit this late in a year to go up and play a Western Kentucky? You may get kind of a half-ass effort from LSU's defense. So I'll go over 49.5 as well, and see if we can get some points up on the board. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is a serious mismatch in talent here. You're talking about maybe the worst conference versus the best conference.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I think if LSU isn't able to put up points on the board, I mean, it's just.
No, I agree. But I think this is probably a great opportunity for them to do it, and I think that they would love to hang 50. Like, it'd make them feel better about themselves.
The thing here is I don't know how well Western Kentucky does.
Can we get in the end zone twice? I think so.
Maybe late.
Yeah. Well, of course. Maybe early. You never know.
I don't know.
But also, too, I think
I still look, Western Kentucky's, they pass the ball a lot.
yes.
And I think that's the strength of LSU's defense is the secondary here. So I don't know how much success Western Kentucky can have.
We don't need them to have a lot, and they can complete it to us, and we'll return it the other way for touchdowns. So I think it's too low of a number, I think.
Yeah.
I think that the offense will be able to have some success, and it's been a year where there's been very little success for the offense to speak of, and you've got a lot of guys over there that would probably like to get into the end zone, and this is going to be your best opportunity to do it. So just go do it. Go fucking put points up on the board, and maybe let Western Kentucky sneak in there a couple times as well. So, yeah, we'll go over 49.5 Western Kentucky LSU. What is your first play for Saturday?
We're going to go to Miami, Virginia Tech. Miami's a 17.5-point road favorite. I find it hard to believe that Virginia Tech has much success here offensively against a Miami defense that ranks 8th nationally in schedule-adjusted defensive efficiency. They have the 12th ranked third down defense and the 4th ranked rush defense. If anything, the one thing Virginia Tech has kind of been able to lean on offensively is their rushing attack. I don't know how much success they'll have here. And Kyron Jones struggles when he's under pressure, and I think that's a big problem here for Virginia Tech. On top of that, Virginia Tech defensively struggles when they step up in class. I think Miami is still a very good team. I think they still have a lot to prove, so we're going to lay 17.5 on the road with Miami.
You feel really good about it?
Pretty good.
All right. Should I take it too?
I don't know.
Is Miami still alive?
Yeah, I think so.
So they're 5th in the conference right now, but they've only had 6 conference games where Georgia Tech and Virginia have both had 7. Georgia Tech's playing Pitt this week, right? They're both ahead of Miami, so they could you could say Pitt loses, which they're 2.5-point underdogs, I believe, but that'll probably be a tight game. Miami would be tied with them. Virginia's 6-1. I'm blanking on who they play, but yeah, I think there's still an opportunity for Miami, but it's slim, I guess. Miami's got to play Pitt, so.
I think they're the best team in the ACC.
Who, Miami?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would still say so if Beck can pull his head out of his ass, but okay. Yeah, I'll just stick with what I got, I guess. Fuck it, who cares? All right, let's see. My next one, I'm going to go to USC taking on Oregon. Are you on this?
Yeah.
Are you really? Oh, what's going on here? Don't tell me the number moved. Is it your lock?
No.
Okay. No way, dude. The number did move.
What's it at now?
9.5. I fucking just bet this an hour ago. That's crazy. Which way are you going? You laying it with the Ducks?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I took 10.5 with USC.
Well, maybe that's a good bet.
Well, yeah, I guess. But now what do I do? Fuck. All right, go ahead with yours.
Oh, man.
You were about to lay 10.5?
No, I was in 9.5.
When did I just looked? It was painted 10.5. Like an hour after. Whatever. Go ahead. Why do you like the Ducks?
So USC offensively, right? They've been a strong team, number 1 in yards per play nationally. It's the defense which I kind of worry about here. It hasn't been bad, but there is cause for concern from time to time. they struggle to stop the run. Oregon's a top 10 rush offense nationally, and they're number 1 in yards per rush. USC offense, like I said, they're good, but I'm betting Oregon's defense is the defense that gets the stops here. So I like Oregon minus 9.5.
Okay. Yeah, I took USC.
Although on the other side, it's like obviously 10's still a key number. Definitely probably wouldn't be taking Oregon minus 10.5.
Yeah, so yeah, I took, dude, that's crazy. That I cannot believe that.
Do you have ESPN bet?
Yeah, why?
Let's see what it is on there.
Well, it's probably going to be 9.5. Let me see. I'm pulling it up. Yeah,
Fanatics is the only thing with plus 10.
I don't use that because I'm not a child, but I got everything. I don't have Fanatics. I'm not fucking betting where you can buy T-shirts. Let me see. What time's the game?
2:30.
Oh, no. ESPN does have 10.5 still. It's a little juiced. Interesting. Oh, no. It literally just flipped before my damn eyes. It was 10. Unbelievable. Okay, well, it's an even 9.5.
Yeah.
You think I can get the Trojans at 10?
I think so. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take 10. What's it matter? Better for you. I can't find a winner anyway. My thought process here is, like you said, the offense is very, very good. Mayava, it's a tough fucking place to go into and play at Autzen Stadium. But with the wide receiver talent that they have, this Oregon team still just feels like a paper tiger a little bit to me, where you saw them struggle with Iowa, and they pulled it out with the game-winning field goal, which that's a good Iowa team. We watched them skull fuck Minnesota. But this USC team had to make an impressive comeback against Iowa. They were down 21-10 at halftime, and then they blanked them in the second half, came back and won 26-21. Granted, they were at home, whereas Oregon was on the road when they played Iowa. But I was impressed with that comeback, and I felt like double digits, I'll take the Trojans. I'll take a stab at it. But like I said, the large portion of my attention has been on NFL this week with everything that's going on. He's got a better record than I do, and take that for what it's worth. But with that offense, like I said, in all seriousness, Dante Moore, you look at a couple times when he had step up in class in terms of defenses, which I'm not saying that this USC defense is as good as Iowa's, because it's not. But against Iowa, he was 13-21, 112 yards and an interception. We've seen Dante Moore struggle in spots, and you've also seen him light it up. So it's which Dante Moore you're going to get. I don't know if the consistency is there with some of the other top-tier quarterbacks, and maybe the Trojans can hang around in this one. We went head-to-head on one other this year, didn't we?
Yeah.
What was it?
Clemson Duke.
That's right. So, hey, down big on the year, but 1-0 in the head-to-heads. We'll go. Even though, whatever, they went by 10, you can win, I'll push.
Yeah.
Bam, what's your next one for Saturday?
I just have a lock left.
Okay. I have 2 left. How many more do you have?
I don't know. I got my lock. Do you have opinion on Washington State James Madison?
No. No, I didn't. That's what I said. This is it. Look, and I apologize to the listeners. I don't know how many people are actually listening to what I have to say in college football. In the back of my brain, I still feel like I got the knowledge. It's just not been my year. But I really have been so hyper fixated on NFL this week that it's been a bad handicapping performance by me. So no, to answer your question, I do not.
Shit.
I am going to go to one of the biggest matchups of the night. 7 p.m. kick on Fox. Cincinnati at home taking on BYU. BYU's laying 2.5 points on the road. Total sits at 54.5. And I'm going to go against my better judgment, and we're going to take Cincinnati. getting 2.5 points at home. I don't know what happened in that last game. Sorsby was playing incredible. Last 2 games, he's played like dog shit. This is a good BYU defense, but this is a one-dimensional BYU offense. I think the Cincinnati defense kind of gets back on track here, and at the very least, this is a dogfight of a game. We've seen BYU be in quite a few of those, and they've come out on the other side, specifically Arizona. In my opinion, that could have went the opposite direction, but I think we see Sorsby make enough plays in this one, whether it be with his legs or his arm. Tawi Walker had a really good rushing performance in the last game. I think they're going to need that in this one. I felt like everybody on offense played pretty well outside of Sorsby. So I'm going to take Cincinnati getting the points at home. I've been saying I don't believe in this BYU team. We faded them in a few spots and have been on the right side of it. We're going to fade them again. And they're going to cost me a pretty penny when this season's over because we bet them on the under win total. Felt like I was a genius. I wasn't. We're going to try to get some of that money back again. So give me Cincinnati plus 2.5 at home. Got any thoughts on that one?
No, not really.
Okay.
Kind of leaning towards Washington State here. I feel like it's a slip-up spot here for James Madison.
You're on your own on that one. I don't even have it on my screen.
Bam. Got any help here?
Bam. What's James Madison's mascot?
The Purple Cobras.
They are purple. They're the Dukes.
Oh,
yeah, I have no idea.
What's Washington State's mascot?
Cougars.
Okay. Well, what are you doing?
I guess we'll stay away, but just looking, man, I mean, Washington State's played some good teams close. Teams I would say maybe are better than James Madison. Virginia, Ole Miss, both within 3 points. So.
How many total plays do you have if you don't take this one?
3.
You got to take it then because you go 50.
I think 50%. Washington State plus 14 is a damn good pick.
Well, how else are you going to go 2-2?
I do. I think it's the way it.
You know what? I'll take it with you.
It's the way things unfold, you know. I mean, James Madison is now the Group of 5 favorite to make the college football playoff. I think that they have a tight game here against a good Washington State defense.
I'm going to place the bet right now. Washington State plus 14. What time is it?
Noon.
Interesting. Not placing it there. God damn it. All right, so Washington State plus 14 at noon.
Got to go with your gut sometimes,
Yeah.
Nick.
All right. Yeah, you got to take it. Like I said, that's the only way you can be able to go 2-2. You got to have an even number. So all we have left is our locks?
Yep.
All righty. No such thing as a lock. If there was...
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need... Come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
My lock of the week in college football. We have hit not 1, not 2, but 3 in a row. We can't hit anything else, but we're going to try to go for number 4. SMU Louisville, we're going to go under 53.5. The strength of both of these teams are the defenses, both grading out in the top 25. Louisville has been without Isaac Brown the last couple games. It looks like they're going to be without him again. He's one of the better running backs in the country. Miller Moss, swing and a miss. The guy's not good. He doesn't have it. Jeff Brom's a good offensive mind, but Miller Moss is not good enough to man the ship. So we are going to go under 53.5. SMU does want to move fast, but Louisville has been playing slower than I would imagine. They're 75th in the nation in seconds per play. I'll take a stab at the under here. Like I said, I don't think Miller Moss is consistent enough to put points up on the board. You got 2 solid defenses. Clev Lubin for Louisville is a menace off the edge. I lean SMU on the point with the points for what that's worth. But we're going to go with the under 53.5 as my lock of the week. I think it's a safer bet.
We're going Western Kentucky, LSU.
I'm locked in. Sorry, Washington State plus
Okay.
14.
We're laying 22.5 with LSU here.
Oh God!
This is the lock of the
You
year.
have given out LSU as your lock. I think. What are we? This is week 13. At least 4 weeks.
Maybe this is the fourth.
Yeah. I was including.
I
this
don't
one.
know.
But then you've had totals too. You've had LSU implicated in your lock.
I've
of the week.
won
probably. No, yeah, you
more
have.
bets against the spread. We're not doing as good, but if you include the totals, I'm winning when I bet LSU games.
Yeah, that's a fact. But yeah, you can't get away from them.
But look, we talked about it briefly just a minute ago. Western Kentucky, they're good, and Conference USA, this is just a different animal, right? This is senior night. It's his last game in Tiger Stadium for Frank Wilson. This place is gonna be jumping.
You don't think he wins the job?
No. This is a matchup nightmare, though, for Western Kentucky. When you look at them defensively, they rank 127th in opponent yards per rush, and they don't get a lot of pressure on the passer here. If LSU can't score here, I mean, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And then offensively, it's kind of like I mentioned just a minute ago. Western Kentucky, they're a pass-dominant offense. I think LSU's strength on defense is the secondary here. So I think LSU wins this game big.
By 50?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all we need. All righty. Bam. What is your lock of the week?
We're going to Pitt at Georgia Tech. I'm taking the under 62.5.
So many fucking points. I didn't even realize the total was that high. Okay. That's all we need.
Yep.
To recap, I am taking Western Kentucky LSU over 49.5. Cincinnati plus 2.5. Washington State plus 14. I feel great about that one. USC plus 10. And the under 53.5 SMU in Louisville is my lock of the week.
Okay, we're going Miami minus 17.5. Washington State plus 14. Oregon minus 9.5. And LSU minus 22.5 for the lock of the week.
Okay. Going Western Kentucky LSU over 49.5. And Pitt versus Georgia Tech under 62.5 for the lock of the week.
There you go. That is our best bets for college football week 13. I'm going to have to do it again in bowl season. That's what it comes down to. It's that hello darkness, my old friend. We're back. We're going to have to do it again. But we'll do it again. We'll do it again. I had never been so confident picking games in bowl season. Like I felt like every game was a winner. So maybe we can do it again. Yeah, I'm going to have to. All right. That is our best bets for college football. We will now recap week 11 in the NFL. It was another profitable week. Look, Thursday night, we had the Patriots minus 13. Could you have gotten 12.5? Yes, you probably did get 12.5. There was 12.5 when we recorded. We did the honorable thing. We gave out 13. Well, they won by 13 and it pushed. So in hindsight, I wish we wouldn't have done that. I really actually had 11.5, and the money came in on them the day of recording. But it is what it is. We had the Chiefs minus 3.5. This was also a contest play. Like I said, we were on the wrong side of a missed, or I think it was a blocked extra point. And that was the difference in that one, because Bo Nix was not going to go down and execute in the red zone if he had to. Instead, they were able to settle for the field goal. Seahawks plus 3. This one was crazy. This was also a contest play for us. And you're just sitting there going, how long is the defense going to be able to contain the Rams offense? Arguably the best offense in the league. How many times in a row are they going to be able to do it? And they just kept doing it. And then Sam fucking Darnold just kept throwing interceptions back to him. And I was about to lose my mind. When he threw the fourth one, maybe it was the third, whatever, I was like, this is a nightmare. This is unbelievable. And he had that look on his face. I was like, he's back. Sam Darnold's back. Somehow they fucking got inside the number. They lost by 2. And in reality, in all seriousness, I think the Seahawks were the right side. You turn the ball over, I think it was 4 times. and you still cover the number. The Seahawks were 7 of 16 on third down. They held the Rams to 2 of 11 on third down. They held the Rams to 249 yards of offense. They had 414 themselves. They won the time of possession battle nearly 38 minutes to 22 minutes. The Seahawks largely dominated this game. The Seahawks were the right side. It was just Sam Darnold he did throw 4 fucking interceptions. You want to blame one on Elijah Arroyo? Sure. Let's not throw it to fucking Elijah Arroyo when we got to trust for him to come across the defender's face over the middle. Just throw it to Njigba. That's all we got to do. But it was a winner. But it was a stressful winner. My lock of the week was the Bills -5.5. Another stressful winner. This is I can't do it much longer. I'm going to tell you what. Because if we have another good week, say we run the table this week and we get to that 4th week in the quarter, and we have to have a good week to make life-changing money, I might not make it. I don't know if my heart can take it. So, we had the Bills -5.5. They were down, they were up 21-20 at halftime. I gave the whole spiel about how the Bills don't have Devon Achane and they don't have Bijan Robinson, or the Buccaneers, sorry. They don't have Achane or Robinson, so they're not going to be able to run the ball. You know what they have? They have fucking Sean Tucker, who, if you listen to this podcast long enough, you've heard us talk about him when he was at Syracuse. Sean Tucker went for 100 yards, almost 6 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. He also had a 28-yard touchdown reception. Sean Tucker beat the shit out of the Buffalo Bills by himself. So, but Josh Allen proved that he's the best player in the league and scored 6 touchdowns on his own. Bills couldn't really establish the run, and they couldn't stop the run. So it was not a recipe for success. Somehow they fucking pulled a rabbit out of their hat and dropped 44 points on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we go 2-1-1. We hit the lock. That brings me to 36-23-1, 7-4 in my locks of the week. You had 3 plays.
Yeah, Falcons, Penix goes down in the third quarter. Let's give a lot of credit to Bryce Young here, right? 448 yards passing, I think.
Yeah.
Let it come back here to beat the Falcons. And then Bears +3. It's kind of what we not totally thought was going to happen, but kind of still question McCarthy a little bit, a couple turnovers there. The Bears defense, who kind of been struggling this year, put up a pretty good performance. So I think the Bears kicked a game-winning field goal here, even though I think if they would have missed, we still would have won. But
they largely dominated this game.
Yeah.
The fact that it got back, that the Vikings nearly backdoored the way into this was crazy. But yeah, and you were on the Patriots push as well. So 1-1-1 brings you to 25-15-1, 7-4 in your locks of the week. I think I posted it. You're sitting at 62.5%. I'm sitting at 61%. Bam, what is your NFL record?
21-17, 6-4 in the locks.
There's an argument to be made that this might be the sharpest NFL podcast that you can find.
yeah.
So we'll see if we can continue to do it. Job's not done. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. We're on to week 12, and we're going to try to do it again on Thursday night. We are now 7-3-1 because we decided to be honorable and give out Patriots -13. You probably got -12.5. I had -11.5. Would I rather say that I'm 8-3 on Thursday night? Of course I would, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to say that I'm 7-3-1 betting the Thursday night football game. And we've got the Bills going on the road to take on the Houston Texans. The Bills are laying 5.5 points. The total sits at 43.5. And this is tough because the Bills have Josh Allen, but the Bills also have problems on the defensive side of the ball and on the offensive side of the ball. They're suspending their, in your opinion, best wide receiver, in my opinion, second best wide receiver. But then you've got Kincaid is hurt. You've got James Cook not being able to run the ball against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for some reason. You've got the Houston Texans with arguably the best defense in the league without their starting quarterback, C.J. Stroud, in concussion protocol. D'Amico Ryans came out and said that Stroud is not going to play. So the question is, how do you decipher, how do you solve this one and try to find a winner here? And we're going to try to do it in the form of the Buffalo Bills -5.5. And it's kind of funky. You hold your nose and hope, in my opinion, because this number, it's a big number to lay on the road against arguably the best defense in the league. But this Buffalo Bills offensive line is playing extremely well. It's the number 3rd ranked offensive line in terms of pass protection. You've got no C.J. Stroud. Davis Mills in 4 games has 8 turnover-worthy plays. They don't have an ability to run the ball. I gave you the whole spiel last week about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers not being able to run the ball on the Buffalo Bills. They ran for almost 200 fucking yards. I don't know what I'm talking about. But this week, I really don't think that the Texans will be able to run the ball. Woody Marks, Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb could run the ball on this Buffalo Bills defense a couple knees ago. That ship has sailed. So I don't think that they'll be able to run the ball. I think they're going to put Davis Mills in obvious passing situations. It's a great offensive line for the Bills versus probably the best pass rush with the Houston Texans, but the great equalizer is Josh Allen and his legs. So Keon Coleman, show up to the fucking team meetings, and maybe we see an emphasis on Keon Coleman in the red zone, go score some touchdowns. We lay 5.5 with the Buffalo Bills. You like it?
Yeah.
Okay. Ben, which way are you going?
I'm on the Bills 5.5 also.
Okay. We have a consensus on Thursday night. It is funky. Am I going to be surprised if the Texans defense is in the backfield kind of wreaking havoc? Not necessarily, because I watched Josh Allen throw a fucking 2-handed chest pass for an interception to the Bills backed up on his own goal line. And that nearly killed me. So, but there's no way I'm fading Josh Allen when we got Davis Mills under center here. And the problem with the Bills is they're not really getting after the passer all that well, but this offensive line for Houston is bad, really bad. And you saw the Tennessee Titans give them trouble last week. I think the Texans pulled out the win, but that's probably the worst team in the league, and they went toe-to-toe with them there. So I think Mills got sacked 4 times. Maybe Joey Bosa can get in the backfield a little bit here. The thing, too, I think the struggles, there's holes on that Bills defensive side of the ball, but it's not in the form of Christian Benford, and he's going to be on Nico Collins. So I think that they could take Nico Collins away. You had Schultz banged up, potentially questionable with an injury. It's a short week turnaround. We're going with Buffalo Bills minus 5.5 as a Thursday night game. What is your first one for Sunday?
Oh, shit.
This is where it gets dicey because like I said, this is a very tough slate, in my opinion, of games to break down and find winners. And this is the most important betting week in the NFL that we've ever had in our entire lives. So, you have the honors.
Yeah, this is tough because I mean, I guess, you can say the Rams and the Seahawks look like the best, but then, the Eagles are still winning games with their defense. Their offense looks like it struggles most games, but it's like every time you think a team's about to solidify themselves as one of the better teams, they take a step back, like the Bills, even though they won last week.
The Lions.
Yeah.
We keep seeing,
the Chiefs.
The Ravens.
So it's really hard to tell what's going on.
The Chargers. Everybody.
But I guess we're going to go.
Goddamn Packers.
Shadur, what's up? Is he definitely playing?
Yeah, I think so. Shadur.
I don't know if that should scare me away. I kind of lean Browns here, plus 3.5, but we're going to steer away from that for now and wait till tomorrow because I think there's an injury report coming out tomorrow. We'll hear more about
So who
Gabriel's
would you prefer
stat.
to play?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I guess Gabriel, but it's like, even if he doesn't, it's like that's not why we were betting the Browns anyway.
Max Crosby is going to probably commit a hate crime on Shedeur Sanders. So I don't know. I don't know.
But I'm going to go to Jaguars-Cardinals.
Interesting. I had it on my sheet. I scratched it out.
I'm going to I lean Cardinals plus the points here.
So I had Jaguars on my sheet, scratched it out. I wrote down trappiest trap spot of all time. Jaguars blew out the Chargers. They're not that good. Cardinals got blown out by the Niners. They're not that bad. So the spot screams the Cardinals, and that's why I scratched it out because we were on the Jaguars as a contest play, and that was the funnest game of the year where it was just no sweat.
Yeah. I think it's 2.5s, right?
Yes.
They're all juiced right now. We'll hope to find a 3 maybe if we decide this is a good play for the contest, but we'll go ahead and give out Cardinals plus 2.5. I think, like you were just saying, just the past couple weeks for the Cardinals have been some funky games after they looked really good against the Cowboys. I don't think Jacksonville's that great. I still think Brissett's okay here. I think you look at Jacksonville's third down defense ranking, near the bottom of the league. I think maybe the Cardinals keep some drives alive here and keep this game close. So we'll go Cardinals plus 2.5.
Yeah, so the reason I leaned Jacksonville originally, and I feel like that's part of like evolving as an NFL bettor is like as soon as I saw him, like it is a trap spot. It's the funky spot where it's exactly what we've been saying all year. The Jaguars just beat the Chargers 35-6. Jaguars aren't that good. Chargers aren't that bad. And then you've had the Cardinals lose 41-22 to the Niners. Same thing. The Cardinals are not that bad. The worry here is the Cardinals defense is banged up. And you've gotten 40-plus dropped on you back-to-back weeks. So that's what worries me, where offensively, though, with the Cardinals, they've got talent. And with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride, and if they could get a consistent running back option, I don't know. We'll have to talk about it where, like I said, this Cardinals defense I felt like had potential earlier in the year. But with the injuries, you nearly had, I don't know, it's kind of a funky 41 when you look at the Niners, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I don't know. I scratched it off my sheet. So I am going to go for my first play for Sunday. The Lions at home taking on the Giants. The line sits at 10.5 in favor of Detroit. 49.5 is the total. Whether it's Jameis Winston under center or Jackson Dart, I'm not really sure. But I'm going to lay 10.5 points with Detroit here. It's a big number outside of a key number. I get it. You just saw the Lions go up against Philly in the elements. The offense looks like shit. They were 0-5 on fourth down. Dan Campbell has taken over the play call, and he dropped 40 on the Commanders, turned around, looked like he didn't know what he was doing. I think we see the Lions back at home put up a big number here, and I just don't think that the offense for the Giants, whether who's under center, I don't think it matters. I think the weather played a big factor. It's extremely windy. So the D-line for Philly, especially after going to get Jalen Phillips, is a problem, and they were bothering Goff, but then with the wind and the way the wind was kicking, you couldn't really push the ball down the field. He didn't have much time to throw. The argument, sure, could be that the Giants have a great defensive line in terms of a pass rush as well. But we've seen this defense for the Giants kind of fall off down the stretch and not be as good as originally advertised. And then offensively, where are you going to go? So, like I said, whether it's Jameis, whether it's Jackson Dart, if it is Jackson Dart, I kind of like it more, to be quite honest with you, coming off of a concussion first week back to have to go on the road and play this Lions team coming off of an embarrassing loss where the offense struggled from start to finish. We've seen the Lions do this already this year where, who was it? They played Minnesota 3 weeks ago. And you had the upset with J.J. McCarthy, who looks like he can't throw a forward pass again, somehow beat the Lions. They turned right back around. They dropped 44 on the Commanders. They won 44-22. They got embarrassed from Kansas City. Remember, same thing. Offense out in the elements. You were able to get to Goff and bother him, and it looked like that offense is not what it once was. And if you're not able to establish the run and make them one-dimensional, now all of a sudden it's not as efficient. They turned right back around, played Tampa Bay, a team that was playing very well. They beat them 24-9. I think we're doing this thing where they play a good team, and they play a good team outside. That's the trend, I guess, and struggle, and then they turn back around and beat the shit out of the team they get to play next at home. So I'm going to lay 10.5 points with the Lions here. I think they put up a big number that the Giants just won't be able to keep up with. Do you have any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I would lean the Lions there, but I don't know. I don't know if either quarterback makes a difference for me, like you were saying, kind of.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. And that's why I'm not waiting around to see what the report is. But like I said, if it is Dart, I kind of like that better just because coming off of the concussion and then the success that he's had has kind of been with his legs. There's going to be an emphasis on don't run. And then you're going to be able to sit in the pocket and let Aiden Hutchinson and that D-line kind of get after him a little bit. So this Lions defense has kind of turned a corner a little bit in the second half of the year because, I mean, it wasn't really the defense's fault against Philly while they lost. And granted, that Philly offense has issues as well. But like I said, the game I mentioned against the Vikings when they lost to McCarthy, they turned around, they put up 550 yards of offense on the Commanders. It's a bad Commanders defense, but this Giants defense, like I said, is not anything to really write home about. So, and I think that might have been my lock that week was the Lions.
Yeah.
So we're sticking with the trend here, and we are going to just for reference on Pro Football Focus, the Giants defense is grading out 29th overall. They're not a good defense. So the Lions are going to lay a big number here. They're going to do what they did 2 weeks ago. So Lions minus 10.5. Bam, what is your first play for Sunday?
Going to the Colts at the Chiefs. I'm laying the 3 with the Chiefs.
Okay. What are your thoughts on that?
I got Colts here, waiting for 3.5.
There's been 3.5s, and I can show you my sheet. I don't want to show you my other plays just to spoil the surprise, but right there, Colts plus 3.5, question mark. I lean Colts. Bam, why do you like the Chiefs?
It's more that I don't think the Colts are all that.
In what way? There are 3.5s, just for the record. It looks like it's painted 3.5.
Yeah, but
Is my shit just not updated?
no, yeah, it's 3.5 across, but still juiced a little.
Yeah, I mean, I see minus 114s in multiple spots. That'll.
It wasn't one I was planning on giving out. It was one I had written on the side for maybe.
Contest play?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my thought process there is I do think the Colts are balanced offense. Jonathan Taylor's best running back in the league right now. And then when you look at what they're able to do, I just think offensively, I think they'll be able to score. And defensively, so who's the D? Is Anarumo the D coordinator for the Colts? Look that up, Bam.
Yeah, from the Bengals.
Bengals used to give Patrick Mahomes some trouble when Lou Anarumo was the defensive coordinator. I was looking, yeah. I lean Colts in that one. I think offensively that they're
Anarumo.
Yeah, I think offensively they're balanced enough that they would be able to put some points up on the board against this Chiefs team. And so another thing, too, I was looking, like their percentage of how often they played man coverage skyrocketed since going to get Sauce Gardner in that one game for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And then I think, is Ward back? Is Travarius Ward back? Or is he still on IR? Remember, he was in the pregame, he got fucking smoked. He was warming up.
So he's eligible to return from IR, but his playing status is not yet confirmed.
Okay. I think he might come back. I could be wrong on that. The worry here is that they don't have the pass rushers to get after Mahomes and bother him. And you've got DeForest Buckner who's been on IR. But I mean, I lean Colts. I definitely lean Colts. I think the Colts, it was one of those things that took me too long to kind of come around. The offense is extremely balanced. Daniel Jones is playing well. The worry is obviously the defense. But with the Chiefs, it's like the Chiefs, they don't run it often at all. They're relatively efficient when they do decide to run, but it's not in the cards of the offense. That's just not what they try to do. I'm very interested to see the game plan because they move Rashee Rice around a lot. Like, who's Sauce Gardner going to be on? And I'm not a big Sauce Gardner guy, to be quite honest with you, but I do think he's a step up from what they had. And if you were to get Travarius Ward back, outside of 3, I would certainly lean the Colts. We can make a decision, I guess, in terms of the contest if we go that route. As far as an official play, I'll hold off.
Well, I kind of want to take it away now.
Well, if you can get a 3, 3.5 is a huge fucking difference. A huge difference. So just go with your gut, Bam. Your gut never has failed you, ever. What is your next play for Sunday? Just your lock left?
Yeah, unless if I don't know. I was looking at the Browns. I don't know if I have the guts to do it just yet. And there's really not 110 available right now, and kind of rather see what's going to happen with the quarterback situation first. But for first and foremost, we wouldn't be betting on the Browns because of their offense or their quarterback, right? I think
Myles Garrett gets 10 sacks a fucking game.
Yeah, the Raiders just, I don't know what you're going to get from them here.
Yeah, in all honesty, Geno looked like absolute shit. And the game plan from Chip Kelly, they need to sit Chip Kelly down in a chair and smack him across his fucking face. Because at one point, before that game got out of hand, he passed the ball 12 fucking times in a row. You spent a first-round pick on Ashton Genty. You didn't give him the ball. It was, I think, 6-3. They were in that game. Point being, it wasn't like they got game scripted out of it because they were down 20 and had to throw. He threw 12 times in a fucking row in the first quarter. Give the ball to fucking Ashton Genty. He had 2 carries for 11 yards. First one went for -1 where he got immediately contacted behind the line of scrimmage. Then they gave him the ball with some semblance of space, and he took it 11 yards. So, or 12 yards, whatever. I don't know what Chip Kelly's doing, thinking that he needs to let Geno Smith throw the ball 40 fucking times a game. I'm not even kidding. I think it was over 40 pass attempts. Let me pull it up just for my knowledge. 42 pass attempts. That's not your recipe for success. Unless you're throwing it all 42 fucking times to Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was watching. That was a frustrating one to watch. Because I bet an Ashton Genty prop for what it's worth. It was a bad bet. What are you chuckling at, Bam? You needed a couple fucking more points from Brandon Aubrey, huh? Bam thought that the goddamn Raiders were going to stop the Colts in the red zone, settle for field goals.
Yeah, they should have taken that damn field goal, but they needed out at the end.
Yeah.
Put it over.
All right. I am going to go to the Cowboys and the Eagles. Are you on this?
No.
I'm going to take the 3.5 points with the Dallas Cowboys at home. And I know how crazy that sounds. And we just got a first-hand look at those Cowboys that we were just talking about in the game where they let Geno Smith throw it 80 times. Dallas went out and quietly made some moves on the defensive side of the ball. And by quietly, I mean they traded their first-round picks. For Quinnen Williams, they went out and got Logan Wilson, though, from the Cincinnati Bengals. In my opinion, Logan Wilson's a good linebacker. I think he makes a big difference on that defensive side of the ball. But Quinnen Williams is one of the better D tackles in the league. I'm not saying the Cowboys are going to be good on defense now because they're not. But I think that the run defense might be a little bit better than what it was, although Chip Kelly decided to go big brain thinking and say, worst run defense in the league, we're going to throw it 50 times. And that somehow didn't work. This Eagles offense just has problems at this point. It's not like, oh, they're going to get it going, and they can't really push the ball downfield through the air consistently enough. And this Cowboys offense is good. George Pickens is a fucking problem. And as a compliment to CeeDee Lamb, that's probably the best 1-2 punch in the NFL right now in terms of the receiver position. You make an argument, Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams. But offensively, I think the Cowboys are going to be able to put some points up on the board. They've been a little Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in terms of consistency. But back at home, getting that win, a big win on the road against, I say big win, the Raiders suck, but you needed that after losing 3 out of your last 4 games. This is a divisional matchup. Outside of a field goal, I'll take the Cowboys plus 3.5 at home. Got any thoughts?
Yeah,
You've been banging the drum for the Cowboys all year.
I know. It's just which Cowboys do you get?
The good ones.
The ones where their guys freaking are incredible?
Yeah, that's the ones. Did you see that move George Pickens made?
Yeah, that was incredible.
That touchdown? He's one of those. He's got shit for brains, but you put the ball in his hands, and that goddamn, he can score the goddamn ball.
Yeah, needed that.
Yeah,
Fantasy.
yeah.
I was like, holy shit, it's fucking best fucking receiver I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm taking the Cowboys. I'm taking the points. It's one of those, I've been trying to fade this Eagles team all year. I don't believe in them. I don't believe in Jalen Hurts. I don't think they're running the ball consistently enough. You also have Lane Johnson, all-world right tackle, out with a Liz Frank injury. So give me the Cowboys. We'll bottle up the run, force Jalen Hurts to beat you. If we want to go toe-to-toe, quarterback for quarterback, I'll take Dak Prescott. And all I have left is my lock of the week.
Yeah, me too.
What about you, Bam?
Me too.
All righty.
My lock sucks.
It sucks? I like mine. Let's see. No such thing as a lock, but if there was.
It's a lock, Kramer. You've had this thing under control for almost 3 years now. But it's a lock.
They need that fucking juice. They need that next bet. They need. Come on, come on. Yes! When they win, they go fucking crazy.
You're a bad motherfucker. Go in that shower, grab your fucking nuts, and tell the world somebody's sniffing my fucking nutsack today. Because I ain't got time to fuck around no more.
My lock of the week in the NFL is going to be the New Orleans Saints -1.5. I know, but this Atlanta Falcons team, you got Michael Penix Jr. hurt. But more importantly than that, you have Drake London hurt. And the fall off from Drake London to the next wide receiver is massive. The weakness of this Saints defense is the secondary. You take Drake London out of the equation, you gotta maintain coverage on Darnell Mooney. Will be okay. Kyle Pitts, the offense had trouble to begin with. They struggle on third down. They struggle in the red zone, and that was with Penix. Now you throw Kirk Cousins to the Wolves, who's a statue in the pocket. We're going to load the box. We're going to stop the run. We're going to force Kirk Cousins to beat us, and he just does not look good. So I'm going to lay 1.5 points with the Saints off the bye with Tyler Shuck at quarterback. This is a new era of Saints football. We're back. We got a guy who can throw the football. And we're going to lay 1.5 points with the Saints as the lock of the week. It boils down to that. The Saints have the 8th best run defense in terms of Pro Football Focus grade. Like I said, the secondary is the weakness. I don't think they have the pass catchers to exploit that. Kyle Pitts is just not what everybody thought he was going to be. Drake London, though, is incredible. His ability to catch the ball down around the goal line in the red zone, his ability to find the soft spot in the zone. He's a top 5 wide receiver in the league, in my opinion. Taking him out of the equation is a bigger blow, a bigger loss than Michael Penix Jr., in my personal opinion. Saints -1.5 is my lock of the week. What is your lock?
It's a lock, Kramer.
I gotta piss bad. And this is a really hard lock to justify. We're going Patriots-Bengals. I'm taking the points with the Bengals, +8.5 here. I know Jamar's out. I know the Patriots they have one of the emerging stars at quarterback, right? One of the best players in the league right now. But I still think the Bengals here can score enough points to keep this within one possession. So I'm going to take Bengals +8.5.
Yeah, I almost laid it. Not to push back on your lock, but just for the and I know you got to pee, but we'll talk about it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, so my thoughts, like I said, I thought you might go with the Patriots because we've been talking about the Patriots. But the other side of the fence, I guess, for the thinking there is I don't think the Patriots are as good as their record, and they've been forced to lay a lot of big numbers recently. They've covered
and they've been fortunate to cover in some of them, even
that fumble, and then kicking the ball around with Fields that down there in the red zone that gave them the field goal, that was lucky. My thoughts with the Bengals, though, you take Jamar Chase out of the equation. One thing for the Patriots as well, I'm bouncing around in my brain and real time here. Milton Williams being out is huge. But the Patriots have a great run defense. Bengals can't really run the ball. But what they do have in the secondary is Christian Gonzalez. They're going to put him on T. Higgins. Which we saw Drake London kind of bully him. But is T. Higgins as good as Drake London? T. Higgins is very good. You take Jamar Chase out of the equation. You got the one-on-one matchup there. Where else is success going to come from in terms of the offensive side of the ball for the Bengals? How much are they really going to be? I think after last week, like especially with Chase, I don't know. That was a bad loss.
This is pure spot for me.
Yeah.
Just looking at this, it's like if you're recreational, you're looking at this and you're seeing Patriots as an easy winner, right? I think Bengals coming off of a couple bad losses here, Patriots then winning. I think it's a little bit of a trap game for the Patriots here.
I just feel like so the report was, Burrow's back at practice. So it's like, how close is he to coming back? If Flacco could still have them tread water, then I felt like you could see an uptick in like their intensity. Instead, they got fucking blown out by the Steelers, and then Jamar Chase spit in Ramsey's face, and now he's suspended. So I feel like they were at a crossroads of this being like a decent spot, and then I don't know. I don't like it, I guess I'll say, but I can understand it is a big number for a team that I don't think is as good as 9-2 overall and 5-0 on the road, and the Patriots have been on the fortunate side of a number of situations, I guess, and the Falcons.
Other than that game, they fumbled it 4 times.
Yeah, and we were on the wrong side of that, and that they are good, and Drake May is just playing better and better, and they're super efficient on the offense. So I guess the devil's advocate there is it's like if you look at analytics, they can't run the ball, but the last 2 games they're running the ball extremely well with Travion Henderson. Now that they're giving him the heavy workload, so I just felt like I could see 2 different sides here. I could see the Patriots beat the shit out of them. And then I could see the Bengals possibly hang in, but I just leaned more towards I don't know where the offense is going to come from for Cincinnati with Jamar Chase being out. So that was my thoughts because the strength of this team is to stop the run. So are they going to be able to are they going to be able to beat them through the air and beat Christian Gonzalez with just T. Higgins? So that was my thoughts on that. If you want to go pee while he gives his lock. Yeah. Bam, what is your lock of the week?
Eagles versus the Cowboys over 47.5.
You like what you saw from the Eagles offense?
Bounce back game. It was also very windy in Philly the other night and freezing.
What are you, Bob Breck, all of a sudden?
What's the wind chill?
All right. All righty. So that is Bam's lock of the week. To recap, Thursday night we're going the Buffalo Bills minus 5.5. I'm going Lions minus 10.5. Cowboys plus 3.5. And my lock of the week, the New Orleans Saints minus 1.5. Tyler Shuck, bring us home.
Okay, we're going Bills minus 5.5, Bengals plus 8.5 for the lock of the week, and Cardinals plus 3.
All right, going Bills minus 5.5. Kansas City Chiefs minus 3. And for the lock of the week, Eagles, Cowboys over 47.5.
There you go. That is our best bets of the week for the NFL Week 12 as well as college football Week 13. Episode 242 is in the books. Do you have anything to say before we go?
Nope.
Bam.
Hit the like and subscribe button.
Like what he said, hit the like and subscribe button. We are almost to 1,000 subs. It's a big milestone. I've said it a million times. We were too late to the boat with YouTube. If I could go back in time, we would start YouTube from day one, but it is what it is. This is the biggest week we've ever had doing this show in terms of NFL betting. If we run the table this week, I'm going to need somebody to look after me because my blood pressure is not going to be able to sustain it. But if you pull for us, this is a big, big week to do it. If you root for us to lose, you're a fucking loser. Y'all have a good one. Who dat?
The house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Been practicing this, a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.